So we are Team B, so now we'd like to be presenting about urban planning and civil participation. So during our discussion, we thought it would be ideal and efficient, like for each one of countries to, to make cities better or urban areas better by using technologies like AI and Internet of Things, like what we call it, like smart city initiative. So like we'd like to start with definition of smart city, we think.
So I will start with the definition of the smart city. My definition, the smart city is like a municipality that uses information technologies, communication technologies, and as well information technologies to increase like operational efficiency, share information with the public, and as well improve the both of quality of the government services and as well our citizen welfare.
At the ASEAN Summit, Singapore proposed the realization of ASEAN Smart City Network, and 26 cities are participating. Japan declared to cooperate with the Singapore in realizing smart city. So it's very important thing for ASEAN. So we picked up the discussion.
So this is the keeping some city becoming smart city. So sometimes it has to be the smart city is lack of infrastructure to support the smart city, lack of knowledge and education. This is very important because if the people in the city don't have enough knowledge, it has to be the smart city. And issue of open data, lack of resource to fund the smart technology, lack of communication and management, and lack of regulation, norm, policies, and direction. And that is what is a cultural issue because each community in each country has different cultures, and also lack of trust between government and government, and geographical diversification problems. And the last one is the poor private and public participation. So to be the smart city, we have to work together and consider many dimensions.
Well, despite those 10 obstacles that prevent smart city from happening, we'd like to suggest how we promote smart city with its civil participation. So here's what we think. So like this is the flaw, like strategic flaw of how to make smart city happen. So first, like phase one is problem related to urbanization, and then phase 2 is technologies that we are using to resolve problems, and phase 3 is proposal that we'd like to make to resolve problem by using technology. And phase 4 is evaluation, that what kind of SDGs are supposed to be achieved. So as a case study, we'd like to bring up garbage disposal in Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Japan, and Singapore. And then we'd like to move on to the current situation in Thailand on garbage disposal.
For Thailand current situation, I feel it's due to the cross. Smart city requires smart solution. What does this mean? It means that in order to become a smart city, you need to solve the problem, not only solve it, but solve it in a smart way. So here, 7 principles we have to, in order to solve. The first one is the environment, energy, people, governance, economic, mobility, and well-being. All of these combine together to become a smart city. As I show here in the circle, this circle is a problem that occurs in Thailand right now. Current situation in the garbage disposal in Thailand is Thailand we produce 74 tons of garbage every day, and in the number of 15% come from the Bangkok alone. This is a very huge number because compared to other province, we have 77 province in Thailand. Compared in Bangkok, we about 10 times much higher than average. Only 23% of the garbage here are doing in the right way, in recycle and sanitary landfill. But 77% left are in the wrong way. We throw it in an open landfill, burning it and returning it in the natural resource like river, sea, and forest. That is a chain reaction to make it crisis, right? Flooding. The garbage occupy the space in the firefly and drainage system, creating the flooding every year in Thailand. Also, effect in the sea animal. There also air pollution here. It's a chain reaction from the burning, agriculture, and heavy traffic problem here. People doesn't have enough public transportation, and public transportation here are not good, so they ride their own car, and there are a lot of kind of speed making a traffic jam. Here the other problem happening in Thailand is a very strange situation here. The problem is that the government, they are not share the database and participate with the people in the area. In this picture, we show the before and after of this pathway. The first picture is before. The government thought it was too old, but they only see that in the database in their computer, but they see the real place. So they ordered the worker to demolish it. So demolish it did no reason. And the conclusion is collaboration in Thailand right now is critical, but if we have good participating people in governance, it can be solved in one day.
So I will move on with the recent situation of waste management. According to United Nations, Vietnam is the fourth largest plastic waste country in Asia. So more than 80% of plastic waste come from the mainland, and the rest go out to the sea. So Vietnam is also ranked the 17th out of 109 countries with large levels of plastic pollution in the world. So this number, 1.8 million tons of plastic waste is produced in Vietnam per year, while plastic consumption increased to 18% per year. So Vietnamese people habits, they usually use plastic products everywhere, every time. So in 1990, each Vietnamese person consumed about 3.8 kilograms, but 15 years later, this number increased nearly 13 times. So they usually use these products because it's convenient and cheap. One of the other reasons that people also think that this is not their home, so they tend to not keep clean the place that they visit. So because they think that that is not their home, so how they can have to keep clean. And also the most of plastic bag and plastic waste in Vietnam will be approximately 2.5 million tons per year without recycling. So the most plastic waste come from household plastic waste, market plastic waste, and public plastic waste, but this ton of plastic waste not to be classified as source. So meanwhile, the treatment of daily life solid waste still have many limitations. The two main treatment methods are burial and burn. So this burial method caused many concerns about the release of dioxin and furan, and also landfill method will cause soil and waste pollution. Sorry. So meanwhile, Brazil, Vietnam, they have a lot of projects to protect the environment, like say no to disposal plastic, and some market they use trees to protect the products. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the waste collection and the disposal in lab. So, disposal in lab is just, in Vientiane capital, it just 48% that have disposal. And for secondary town is 47.5%. That means Luang Prabang and Savanakhet and Tha is and Attapeu is so secondary town. And 17 small province town is 47%. This is all about the waste in just only in Vientiane. So for the first is wood and bamboo, because Lao use the wood for making house, and organic from the restaurant, from the kitchen of his family, and the other is non-recycled. The fact about waste in Vientiane is 141 districts have only 14 control landfill sites, and the other is not in control. Vientiane capital city is made 237.25 kilo per year per person. That means 500 tons per year in just only in Vientiane capital. Waste is regular burn is significant health impact to the local residents and people. The challenge of the solid waste is indicate legal framework and unclear institutional responsibilities. A considerable amount of the waste illegally down into the drainage channel and rivers. The collection record is owned and subject to frequent breakdown. The institutional and administration infrastructure is not well established. Public education system and participation programs are not established. And this is Asia Foundation grants. Like this campaign is coupled with a zero subject meant to inspire and encourage people to stop littering and start recycling. The first is in Luang Prabang, Kham Muan, and Boli Kham Sai. There are several school and community waste management community about the financial ability to selling material for recycling and the health benefit of composting the organic material. Okay. This is our purpose for today. Increase collection coverage
to 100% by 2020. Formulate the solid waste management strategy for the city. Explore the opportunity for investing waste into the resources and particular waste into energy. Waste to resource opportunity. This is like the future plan for us, like a smart way for green design, green for recover and recycling of recyclable material, the conversion of waste into the compost, recovery of the waste as animal feed, the waste to energy conversion through anaerobic digestion, the resource recovery option for the mixed waste. This is our purpose in the future.
And next, I introduce the present situation in Japan. And Japan is ranked the 33rd in the world in the points of the amount of the garbage. For example, the 42,890,000 tons of the garbage is disposed of in the year. It means that one person emits 920 grams per day, and it costs 197.45 billion yen in a year to treat them. And as you can see, it's still rising. And seeing the detailed breakdown of the items, 41% is the low garbages, and then the 45.6% is the food losses. It means that it still can be eaten, and then only 40% is recycled as a food or fertilizers. So division by the technology will be helpful to reduce the amounts of the garbages, and then also realize a reduction of the food losses.
Last, I talk about present situation in Singapore. Singapore is one of the most cleaning countries in the world. Why is Singapore is clean? And this is the amount of Singapore. And Singapore puts up, as you can see, Singapore is can focus on waste initiative and waste and field. It is two key points why Singapore is clean. First is facility and second is policy. First is waste to energy facility, and it is generating energy by instead most of the country waste and dump trash into the landfill. And second is policy about garbage, and first is fine budgeting, and second introduce garbage weight billing system.
So as you saw, like Singapore is a really good example, like a good garbage disposal, like as a country level. But like as a first step forward, I'd like to introduce the application for garbage disposal. I mean garbage separation in Japan. So here it is, 5674, and then here's the like functions there. And then it's reminding the citizens of the date of trash pickup for each kind of garbage. For example, like Monday plastic bag, and Tuesday and combustible garbage. And we can look into what kind of trash can be collected, and also how to separate ideally to recycle. And then as a result, we can promote garbage separation really quickly. So we thought in order to promote smart city and garbage disposal really quickly, we thought we have to educate people, especially the elderly people who are not familiar with the internet and technologies of like even iPhone, like PC. So the reason we focus on the elderly people is because we are going through the aging society in Japan, like super age society, And also as we promote smart city, our daily life is getting easier and easier. So like without having technological knowledge, like we can easily use iPhone and laptop and things. So we thought it would be ideal and efficient to promote smart city by educating the elderly people. No thanks.
So as you can see, we jumped into in terms of the participation, we select a Japan community. We select a Japan community building for an example. So like most of the building community in Japan, we have selected a leader to take care of the responsibility of how people putting garbage. Like this is some of the example of the garbage disposal schedule, and the place the leader have to take care of it to make it clean. So as you can see, in nowadays we have a technology that prepare for the community, but the thing is, people still don't understand or don't know how it can be effective. So we have to give them an education because we don't want to let anyone behind, like elderly people who cannot use a smartphone. This some kind of the example system can teach them in like how to learning about how to make the community better.
But it's not just proposals. In phase 4, we have to evaluate, so we will use SDGs. In this garbage problem case study, there are 3 good results, as you can see. And they achieved 3 goals and 4 targets of SDGs. First is this, and this, and this. As you know, SDGs are linked to new urban agenda, so it can progress one of the priorities, which is this. So in this way, it leads to success SDGs and new urban agenda. They continue using as a tool of evaluation society.
So we have 2 proposals to realize the smart city. Although there are various situations and backgrounds depending on the country. This strategic proposal suggested as a common general methods. Using these common methods, we must make proposals strategically. In this strategic role, in order to maximize the effect of technology, we suggest a package proposal of set of technology and education, also community design. We should focus on making a foundation for people who use technology from now.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. And as an economist, and who paid the cost? That is my, quite straightforward question. And to repeat, for example, in the field of economics, maybe you are familiar with the ideas of these externalities. So reduce, say, to minimize the use of, say, undisposable plastic bags, or to reduce the amount of garbage. It is quite familiar to use so-called tax. And are you ready to shoulder some burden of those kind of costs to minimize the say garbage, or to minimize the use of plastic bags?
Actually, this application, like as I said, like the application 5374 in its example in Kanazawa, Ishikawa prefecture. Like so, it's paid by the local government, and then it's still going on. It just launched, so it's kind of new. So we cannot see the result yet. But I think so. Like since the local government is paying for this, I think yeah, we'll see. And then when it comes to the plastic bag, like the Japan is Japan invented the Limex, just which is a substitute for plastic. So I think it'd be better like for the ASEAN countries to use it like Limex, because it's really good. It's really good for I mean, it's really ecological and then as well as economical. So it's really good because it's really like almost 100% like self-sufficient. So even Japan use it a lot and it's almost infinite. So I think it'll be one of the solutions.
Actually, say in Japan, maybe some of you have been in Japan. We use a lot of plastic bags, but actually from next year, maybe before the Olympic Games, that the government is planning to introduce, charge of plastic bags. And yeah, I do expect that there's some development of new technology, but at the same time, we need to reduce the plastic bag. And so maybe that's my question is quite simple. Are you ready to shoulder that? So what's going to happen if you need to pay some amount of money for plastic bag whenever you buy something from, say, street vendor here, for example, and here. So, are you ready to shoulder? That is my simple and quite straightforward question.
Since you're asking me like am I ready or not, like I say I'm ready. I'm ready to pay for that, but I'm not going to use it if it costs me.
That civil participation should be the key, rather than the government just pushing.
Thank you. Your presentation is well structured. It is really the strategic system we could see. As a target, the SDGs is a very easy to understand for every people, and using the technology and involving the communities and everything. Actually, it's a shame that we know that Japan is exporting the plastic garbage through container to Vietnam still. But how about the involving the industries? You're talking about the community of people, but we need to distinguish the plastics. So how do you think about involving industries?
To be honest, we haven't thought about it, but actually because one of the reasons is because we thought like in order to promote SDG, to achieve SDGs, we thought like bottom-up approach is better. So we thought like we have to have awareness first, like us. So like that's why we say like community design, community building is really important. Like firstly because it's really because we can see a lot of plastic bags on the childcare labor and on the street a lot. So it's really easy for us to recognize it. So we thought it would be better for us to start.
Yeah, okay. But like Professor Takeda says, that involving the industry to pay the cost. Finally, we need to pay. But yeah, maybe it would be better to include the industry or something.
A very short comment. That presentation was well structured, well prepared, which is good. But I thought that the idea you started with smart city, which actually was not so relevant. So without, rather than the garbage management and SDGs or community something, rather than, I do understand that you actually started with smart city. But once you decided to target the garbage management and blah, 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 probably the structure could have been considered even better without the actual starting point, but to be that more logically to be structured. I think it could have been better without that.
Thank you. I would like to share a bit about the development. Your group was the topic of smart city, right? So to apply this goal, smart city, you cannot avoid sustainable city. So in that way, I think all the garbage you mentioned, we cannot use all as energy because it's different. Some can be reduced, and some can be recycled. So we just distinctly shorten it so we can reduce the burden to the environment. Also, we get advantage back. And also, you mentioned about the application that is good. That is kind of measure how to increase the public awareness. Take part in the, say, civic participation. So, yeah, that is a very interesting topic because every development must toward the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. And the smart city is like the peak point. Yeah. But before going up, approaching that point, they must go to the heart of sustainable development or sustainable city. So this is just one point of points I can contribute to you to clarify about especially the garbage that can be distinctly into three types. That's
Thank you. Any burning comments? Okay, so then we move to the next one. Thank you so much for your presentation.